call this meeting to order. This is way too much fun tonight. Oh, roll call, please.
All right, Belsley.
Here.
Blunier.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Lehman. Newman.
Here.
Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Join me in Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There is no public hearings tonight or presentations and special reports, but we do have some public comment tonight. Susan wants to start.
The mayor had asked me to kind of report on the Morton Civil War Days that we held this weekend. This is the second year that we've done that. And let the mayor describe the very first.
I got to shoot the cannons. I didn't know there was so much going into a cannon until they got it done, but that was fun. They had about 6 of them there, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think we have one more.
And even my granddaughter Lucy, 10-year-old, she got to shoot it. My wife wouldn't do it, but Lucy would.
Okay. So we had about 275 reenactors who came to town. They came from Wisconsin and Missouri, Indiana, Iowa, and parts of Illinois. And they came, some of them stay at the campsites, but the more stately people, they stay in our hotels because it's really not all that comfortable sleeping on the ground. And so they bring rooms to our town. And we probably had about 3,000 visitors on Saturday that came out to see it, and then probably about 2,000 on Sunday. It's really an educational thing because we have a scavenger hunt and we pass these sheets to all the kids.
Right here.
And they walk around and they have to talk to the reenactors to find out what these items are. And when they leave, the comments are great because the adults have learned as much as the kids because this kind of information wasn't really taught to us when we were in school. So it was a wonderful event. We had great weather. And I want to tell, Craig, can you go to the next one? So this is, so one of the things that happens on Saturday night is they have a dance. And we have people who are in costume, but our citizens come out, and you don't have to be in costume. And by the 15 minutes after they've started, our citizens are dancing with the people in costume, and they had a great time. So that's from 7 to 9 on Saturday night. So it's very interactive with our people. So it's great. And Craig, I think you got one more. And on Sunday morning is a church service. It was very nice, and we have some plans for next year to invite some of the churches that they might want to join for a community church service. We had demonstrations, and there's all kinds of more different demonstrations we can bring into this so that it's more interesting. And the other plan is we're working with the school district next year so that Friday is a school day, and so the camps will be set up and the kids can come out and they will be able to see demonstrations and see how everything worked. Everything in the camp, with the exception of us citizens, is period oriented. And when they are all set up, then someone goes through all the camps and makes sure that there's nothing in that campsite that wouldn't have been in a campsite that period of time.
Yeah, and when you go around to do this stuff, the first one is haversack. It's a man bag back in 1863. You carried your extra socks and personal things. They were pretty cool. And that is a really nice non-denominational service they had there. There's probably, I don't know, 40
people.
Probably 40 there. So, and you get a itinerary of each day. And when you go around, only one person can sign for each item. And it's actually a history lesson at each one. It's really interesting. So, a very fine event. And we drove through late at night, and the campfires all had their fires, the horses tied up to the tree. It looked pretty neat at night. So, thank you, Susan.
Okay, thank you.
And I got to shoot the cannon. Did I mention that? Okay, tonight on the consent agenda is the approval of the minutes, the regular meeting of April 16th, 2018, and the approval of the bills. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The only thing I have tonight is the updating of the liquor license. They're to be done by April 30th. So you have a list here of the different classes of liquor license. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Village clerk,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
village administrator,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
chief of police.
Nothing on the agenda, but just an update. Since our last meeting, we had our participation with the DEA and the National Drug Take Back Initiative, and we had collected approximately 200 pounds during that, so.
I went by and it seemed like there was auxiliary police on the front.
Yes, they
And then
actually, a lot of the individuals that come and drop off medication are some of the elderly, and so they set up, it was a nice day, they set up outside to collect that, to keep them from a little less walking.
Okay, thank you. Corporation Counsel,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Director of Fire and Emergency Services,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
and Director of Public Works. We're going to be here a while.
Several items tonight, Your Honor. First in front of you is item A. I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid for the 2018 Seal Coat project using MFT funds in the amount of $42,956.89 and award of contract for same to Porter Brothers Asphalt and Sealing Incorporated.
Do I have a motion first?
Second.
Second. Any comments? Call the roll.
Hare.
Yes.
Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item B, I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid for the 2018 heat scarification seal coat GSB project using general funds in the amount of $388,565.61 and award of contract. This was split between three contractors. First one to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation for the heat scarifying portion in the amount of $218,406.16. To Porter Brothers Asphalt and Sealing Incorporated for seal coating in the amount of $60,938.56, and to American Road Maintenance for GSB in the amount of $66,264.00.
I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments?
I would like to add Patrick Myers in the audience. This is the first year he's worked with me on the seal coat, so I appreciate your help, Pat. Just want to make you guys aware. If you have any questions for myself or Pat, we'd be glad to answer.
Call the roll.
Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right.
Could we do all three of the trucks in one motion?
Can, as long as none of the trustees
Do
agree.
anybody have any objection to that?
Okay, I'll read them all three off. First is item C, acceptance of bid for 2018 four-wheel drive, half-ton extended cab pickup truck for the Public Works Department in the amount of $24,248.94. This includes a trade and award of contract for same to Sam Lehman Morton. Next would be acceptance of bid for 2018 four-wheel drive, half-ton extended cab pickup truck for the Gas Distribution Department in the amount of $23,748.94. This includes trade and award of contract for same to Sam Lehman Morton. And third, and lastly, acceptance of bid for a 2018 four-wheel drive, one-ton heavy-duty extended cab and chassis with single rear wheels for the Gas Distribution Department in the amount of $29,763.94, and award of contract for same to Sam Lehman Morton.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve all three.
Okay.
Second that.
Any comments?
These all came under bid. I would like to add, the only thing we still have to add on is the boxes. So for the 1 ton That's just the chassis, so we still have to get the box put on that. But everything was well under budget.
Okay, call the roll.
Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And lastly, item F, I'd like to ask for acceptance of proposal through NJPA and from Altorfer Incorporated for a 2018 Caterpillar 420 F2 IT backhoe loader in the amount of $49,524. This includes a trade-in of our 2013 CAT 420F IT backhoe. And this purchase would also include a 5-year, 2,500-hour guaranteed buyback for a price of $65,000. We have 4 backhoes, and we all get the 5-year buybacks for them.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
First, and Sam's got a second. Any comments? Call the roll.
Parrot.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Newman. Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you. Planning and zoning.
One item tonight, Your Honor, it's ordinance 19-02, amending our setback requirements in terms of a variance and how it might affect those setbacks. And just to give you a little background, we've worked on this for a while between Craig and Pat and myself. And what happens is now with the easements that we have in existence on plats, with all the utilities, not just our utilities, but other things that people want to locate, it's getting hard for us to be able to do our job in there. So the 3 of us come up with this revision on our ordinance, which if you're in this area, which is known as the mixed use area, or pretty much our downtown area, this ordinance won't affect you in terms of a variance. But if you're, say, in my neighborhood or in Craig's neighborhood, and there's a 6-foot utility easement that goes around the perimeter of your property and a 12-foot across the front, there won't be any variances granted in those easements. So we're going to have room to do what we need to do in there. And Pat, if you want, or Craig, either one, if you want to chime in, you're welcome to.
I think the one thing to add is this is a 6-foot utility easement, so the setback sometimes is a little more than that, so you could grant to the 6 foot. But this is just further protection of those utility easements. You know, most of the utilities in there, or half of them, are usually us anyway. I think it just protects that.
Is that based on the assumption that you got a neighboring side yard that also has 6 foot, so you got enough open space for a vehicle or equipment to get down, so?
Basically, you'd have that 12-foot of anything new, open, you'd have that open yard to be able to protect that. A lot of these old districts, you know, where we pave to the property line, it becomes very difficult, you know, when you're potholing, and then who puts it back. You know, the owner typically doesn't realize that it's still their responsibility being in an easement. So I think we're cleaning some of those things up, but it will restrict to where, you know, the days outside of that mixed use of paving things to the property line or within a couple feet, now they're gonna have to be 6 foot. There'll be no process for a variance for that.
This will help you on the front end of things when folks come in for a site plan review. You can make it very clear at that time not to anticipate any changes there with where you're locating utilities or physical permanent structures or anything like that.
And I think these utility easements, even if there's nothing there, we need to protect them long-term. You know, we run into some of these older downtown areas which are tough to get through when you got a garage right on the property. So I think this is not only protecting us now, but down the road, I think everyone will appreciate it. You know, I think in 2018, we're reliant every day on more utilities. I mean, every day there's fiber going in the ground, multiple fibers. You know, I think this at least protects that. There's not enough, honestly, the 12 foot's not enough room for the next several decades for all of us anyway, in my opinion. So, but this at least affords us from having to deal with concrete, grading issues, all those things that cause us headaches as utility companies.
And there is a lot of fiber going in. We had an instance downtown where 3 fibers were going to one building, they each went their 2 feet, but there's nothing left. So Craig made the first one, put all 3 pipes in. So they're not each getting 2 feet because we have to dig under that. So,
Yeah, we're coming, when these utility companies ask for permits, now there's some areas of town that we tell them, there's no path left. We're gonna have to look at another way. These areas like Adams Street, that literally the right-of-ways on the back of sidewalk and you have a 5-foot sidewalk on the curb, there's already utilities there. There's no room, you know, when Julie dictates that you really almost need to be 18 inches away from the next utility, there's no room. So we're starting to run into that with utilities to say, hey, let's be creative, let's look at alternate paths, because there's no room left.
yeah, we
I
can't be
think that'll
giving it away.
continually get worse as we go forward. And the government, federal government, you know, has really opened up, which I'm not, you know, obviously I'm in the utility business, so I think it gets a little far out and a little too open, and there's going to be problems in the future. But the government allows, I mean, any utility company on the fiber end, Pat, please add. I'm always crying to Pat. They've got a right to be here. So you're getting multiple utilities going to the same locations and taking up wide paths in the right of way.
And even this week on Adams Street, I happened to see the gas company, or gas department, put in a new 4-inch gas line. So I stopped and I go, how are you guys getting this in here? They had it all together, and a hole down there and a hole down there. I go, you gonna tear out all the sidewalks, all the curb? And Scott said, come here, and he took me over to a 1946 or 8-inch steel pipe. They're splicing it, and they're using it as a sleeve to run our gas pipe down. And he goes, Jeff, otherwise I did tear all the sidewalk, curb, and the main fiber going past the tourism for downtown is right above this. So we avoided all that by using a 1940 gas line as a sleeve. So
That's
there's
pretty-
really, we
that's
need
pretty
all the
impressive,
right-of-way.
yeah.
It's quite impressive, quite impressive. So we need our right-of-ways.
So I strayed a little bit, but that's some of the concerns where this started from.
Does this apply to only existing, where there's existing easements, or does this apply across the board? Like if, for instance, if you don't already have an easement or a utility easement in your side yard, does this still apply there? There's no variances even though the easement's not there now, or is it?
This applies across the board.
Okay.
And the reason for that, in our discussions from a planning standpoint with Craig and Roger, is the day will likely come where we need to obtain those easements. And so instead of limiting it to just areas where we now have easements, we want to keep those paths open along front and side yards, so that if we ever need to take the easement, we have a path.
Okay, I think that makes sense.
Well, with everything new coming, who knows what we're gonna have
Yeah.
in 10 years. We're gonna need to get it there. Any other questions? Thanks to the staff for all that work. Let's have a roll call.
I don't think
Oh, let's have a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hare. Yes. Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Do any of the trustees have anything tonight? Okay. We do need a closed session.
Closed session is proposed tonight under 5 ILCS 120/2C2 to discuss collective negotiating matters between the village and its employees or their representatives, and pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1 to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee of the village.
Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Newman. Yes. Parrot.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
We're adjourned.